Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I've invented the 5-minute meeting. All right. Ashland City Council meeting of January 21st. This one starts off with the volunteer fair. Is tomorrow at the Senior Center, and the Connection Workshop at the Senior Center is in February, and something about a shuttle van. And then the city administrator said the town hall on financing bond is tomorrow at 6:30, and that's very exciting. And then the special presentation, which is the state of the city. And this guy goes, hey, what's your name? You're in charge of the welcome and appreciation party. And this one goes, I totally don't have that. And this one goes, we'll just wait for a second. And this one went, no, you don't get it. I totally didn't bring it. I'm sorry. It's space. Sorry. My bad. This guy goes, okay, you're in review. Who's in charge of that? And it's this guy. This guy goes, hey, council had some meetings and processed permits and city stuff and gave money to housing and food projects and housing developments and street building and master plans and fire department stuff and forest stuff and cop stuff and parks and blah, 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 blah. And then, so he said that. And then this one goes, oh, no, I found that thing I had, the appreciation thing. And it says, thanks everybody for being on committees. Okay, and then this guy goes, hey, I would say that PERS and healthcare is a problem, and we have funds problems, and business changes, and demographics are aging, and for 21,000 residents, we run a lot of stuff like airports and electric, internet. We give money to human services. There's a collaboration between city and groups. And then I got a snack because this was getting long. And then he said something about economies and transit vans and chamber of commerce and smoke. And then I napped a little bit. And then I woke up and then he said, living in community. And they all applauded. Woohoo, that's the best. And then they went to the Raglan Volunteer Spirit Award. And this one says, hey, the winner is Sandy Tice. She's the head of the Senior Advisory Committee. And so we're talking about how great that was, and the city came up and said, thanks. And then this one goes, hey, he said, there's the Alan Bates Public Service Award now, and that goes to former Mayor Kathy Shaw. She did great stuff, and he read a letter from Senator Jeff Golden, so that's nice. And then Kathy Shaw came up and said, I'm so touched, and, we had lots of help, and we all did a bunch of stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And it turns out, well, she was married to Jeff Golden, and she's best friends with Alan Bates. The award's named after him, so it was like a weird incestuous nepotism vibe, but hey, Ashland, right? And then public forum, crazy gray-haired guy, he said the future is electric, slow electricity and fast electricity and the speed of light, and then he said something, and then a lady in a pink hat said Transit Equity Day is February 4th at the library, and then the consent agenda. This guy goes, hey, what's up with the water thing? And the city lady went, that's a 21-year plan to plant riparian plants to cool the water coming from the water treatment plant, and that's all approved. And then the Trails Master Plan. This took a long time and it had a lot of inputs, they said, and the trail people were like, this is great. And then this one goes, she goes, some spots on the trails are dangerous. And the parks guy said, yeah, we're working on that. And this one said, you guys don't care about that open Ashland Canal, right? You're cool if we pipe that thing, right? And the parks guy went, we're not in that fight, okay? We're just still talking about trails here. And then this guy goes, you didn't check with SEEPs very much on this, so think about doing that in the future. And then this guy says, the dangers and conflicts on the trails, what can we do about that? And the trail guy said, we're working on that. And then they talked a little bit, and it's approved. And then the homeless services thing. This one said, she says, this is her deal right here. She says, we should start a study about income inequality in town, and this Boise ruling is a big legal thing, and cops harassing the homeless, or the homeless's perception of such cop harassing. And then this guy, he goes, hey, this is a big issue, and I would help out, but what steps should we take? And then this guy goes, he says, can housing and human services start this whole thing? And this guy goes, no, we're going to start this. And then we'll talk to them like once we get going on it. And the city administrator, or the attorney said, there are two questions in this. And what does the Boise ruling mean? And how do we help the homeless? I'd say let's talk about this Boise issue. That's for the big boys up in the high courts. And then we just focus on helping the homeless, that basic discussion. And then this guy says, he goes, can we get into trouble for anything, like legally right now, for anything that we've got set up? And the city attorney went, not right now, but we're waiting for the ruling, and if it changes, then we'll deal with it. And then public forum about this specific issue, and then a big bearded white guy, he wasn't big, his beard was big, and he said, I want more public comment. And a lady in a sweater said, there should be more coordination between all the great private groups and city volunteers. And then a lady with glasses said there are 87 homeless in Ashland and only 40 emergency beds. And one homeless person is 83 years old. And a gray-haired lady said, I watch Facebook, and when volunteer calls come out, it seems under-organized, and the city should help the homeless. And then this guy says, I move to put this on a study session. And this one says, I totally agree. And this guy goes, just remember, the city can't fix this alone. And then conversation, and all approved. And then the second reading of the fire code amendment approved. And then the city people all showed up and talked about the buildable lands inventory. The state requires all cities to do it. There's some partially vacant land and vacant lots. Those are the two big categories. And there are 368 acres of open land in buildable land in Ashland, and 1,563 potential dwelling units. If we jammed every single open space in town full of a dwelling unit, and the urban growth boundary is even more than that. And then Ashland builds 50 to 100 dwelling units per year. Did you know that? And they voted to accept the document, and they all approved. And then this one goes, hey, thanks to all the MLK celebration people who set that up. That was the best MLK celebration we've had ever. And then this one said, she goes, hey, the census is super helpful, and students and seniors are undercounted. And so we got the census coming up. We need outreach, and I propose a motion to have staff spend extra money on doing that. And this one went, this is the end. You can't just have motions like this at the end and ask for money. Like city's got this under control without a motion, right? And then city leader went, yeah, totally, we got this. Don't worry about it. And then that's it. No motion. End of meeting. You're welcome.